you're working out a lot, why not track your progress? We track our progress with so many other things in our lives, like grades, dietary intake, even income really should be an indicator of your progress over time. And people are going to the gym and they're spending all time, money, lots and lots of effort, sweat, and not tracking, just kind of going to the gym, working out, going on the treadmill for 35 minutes, getting off, and then going home, and maybe you weigh yourself once a week or something, but how are you checking your progress? Of course, if you go to something like CrossFit, they're going to help you with this, but in most gyms, it's a free-for-all. So you're spending all this effort and time and money, and are you really getting the results you want? Maybe you are, but how do you know? So I'm a big advocate of zone training as one way to keep track of your progress. And this can be done by getting a heart rate monitor. I use the Polar H10, and it's a chest monitor, and it has Bluetooth. So when I'm in the gym, I'm wearing it the whole time, and then it connects to my phone. There's an app called Polar Beat, which tracks my workout. Afterwards, that syncs directly into an app on my computer called Polar Flow, which is what you're looking at here. So this was a workout from January 12th, 2018. And this day I did some high intensity interval training for about 15 minutes. And then the rest was actually strength training. So I'll talk about that. But just to start you, I did this warm up for 5 minutes, actually, yeah, about 5 minutes, which is very important to warm up. Then I did, in the red zone, 30 seconds. And actually, I'm supposed to come back down into the yellow zone here, but I didn't. I have to get better at that. And then I did 1 minute in the red zone and then going back down into the yellow zone as a recovery. So you're going red, yellow, recovery, and then higher intensity. That's why it's called high intensity interval training. And then this one is 90 seconds, and then the last one is 120 seconds. So I do 4 high intensity zones. And so that high intensity interval training is a great way to boost your metabolism. Actually, it's one of those types of workouts where you do it and then you're burning more calories that day because you did that exercise. It's awesome. And it really helps build the adaptability of your heart. So forcing your heart to go up and then down, and to keep up with what you're demanding of it, that creates adaptability, which is really good for cardiovascular health. What I did this day was that I got up to 169, and then I really wanted to know what my heart rate recovery was, because I try to check in on this at least once a month. So this is how I'm tracking my progress. One of the ways is once a month I check and see what my 2-minute heart rate recovery is. And that's where I peaked here at 169, and you can see the time is 14 minutes and 23 seconds. Then I immediately got off the elliptical machine and I sat down. I just sat right down on a nice comfy couch in the gym. And then I just sat there quietly for 2 minutes, which brought me to about 16:23. And you can see my heart rate is now 104. I think it actually went down to it went down to 101 even. So if you subtract 101 from 169, that's giving you 68. So there's a difference in my heart rate of 68 in that 2-minute interval. What that shows me is my cardiovascular health. And it actually shows that I'm above my cardiovascular health is above average for what it should be for my age. So I'm happy with this. But would I ever know that if I wasn't tracking it? Of course not. I would have no idea. The other thing that I track is in between these intervals, I track how quickly I go. Once I start, let's say I'm in the red zone here, I'm at 164, and then I decide, okay, I want to go into my recovery for 60 seconds or 30 seconds. Then I start slowing down, and as I do that, I track the amount of time it takes me to get into this yellow zone. So, for example, let's say I started slowing down at 8:32, and by 8:49, I'm basically in my yellow zone. That was whatever it was, 18 minutes. 18 seconds. So my heart rate recovery in between intervals is also, I'm looking to improve that time. 20 seconds is pretty good. It's pretty good recovery. So, and that has improved over time. So I'm tracking these metrics and I'm seeing, wow, I can improve my endurance and my cardiovascular fitness. I can see the proof with this data. So I recommend getting a heart rate monitor. I like the H10. It's doing a chest strap is the most accurate way to monitor your heart rate. If it's on your wrist or your ear or whatever other fancy place they're trying to do it, it's not as accurate as right just next to your heart. And then, so I use the Polar H10. I don't own any stock in the company. And then I use the Polar B app on my phone, and then I use the Polar Flow on my computer. And this gives me so much great information. Then after that, I'm doing strength training. As you can see, it's sort of a form of interval training. My heart rate is going up and down and up and down and up and down, which is also really good. Not a lot of data for me there. I usually am looking more at my interval training. So that's some cool stuff.